What's going on, everyone? In this episode, I'm going to take you through the exact progression I would do from someone that never was able to do a pull-up to getting to a pull-up with ease. All right, I know being able to do a pull-up is a very cool thing to do, all right, and it's something that is a fitness standard for a long time. Militaries use it for overall upper body pulling strength. I know CrossFit Games has it as well. And then being able to do a chin-up or a pull-up and being able to just use your body weight to pull yourself up over a bar is, without a doubt, a flex to do in the gym. All right, I'm not going to show you guys how to do a muscle up because I don't really know how to do a muscle up, and I think 99% of you don't really care to do one. All right, because I just see it at the commercial gyms all the time where they just do a bunch of crazy stuff in the middle of the weight room, usually in wife beaters at 7 o'clock at night. When I'm just trying to do cardio and get home and eat dinner. All right, but pull up real quick. I'm going to take you through what it is and then what I would do to go step by step and how to start. All right, so a pull up, your arms are right outside shoulder width, and with a pull up, your palms are facing the bar. All right, a chin up, your palms are facing you. A pull up, your arms are facing away. All right, here we're going to think arms long, and then almost kind of like pull your shoulder blades down and back. So kind of puff your chest up, and then pull up towards the ball. All right, you're trying to get your chest, the top of your chest is trying to get to the top of that pull-up bar. That's where you're aiming for. Too many people try to pull and just try to get your chin over. All right, think about bringing the upper part of your chest here all the way up and then all the way back down. If you do incline bench press with a barbell, all right, and you control it on the way down, that bar comes right to the top of your chest, and then you drive back up. All right, shoulder press, it's just the inverse. Same position, and then you press back up. Pull-up is no different, but you're just using the back instead of the front. So that's how you do a pull-up, but what happens if you don't have the strength, the prerequisite strength to actually just get up there? All right, very easy first step that you can start to do is just do a dead hang. So hold the bar, and then all you're gonna do is hang, all right? Keep the legs completely straight, arms locked out, and you're grabbing the bar as hard as you can. All right? So here, with a dead hang, you can cross your feet, doesn't matter what your feet do. You're not only building grip and forearm strength to be able to hold on to the bar, but you're also building a little bit of mental resilience as well, because you're going to want to fall, but you have to hold on tight like you're on the edge of a mountain. What that does over time is it builds up a little bit of mental fortitude. It helps you grit through a couple extra seconds and get a couple extra reps, which inherently does make you stronger down the road. If you always find yourself babying out and stopping when it's supposed to be 30 seconds, you're stopping at 15, you're cutting yourself half short instead of actually pushing yourself a little bit mentally and physically to get to that end range goal. So with dead hangs, if you're able to get a minute to a minute and a half, sometimes even 2 minutes, that's a really good starting point for strong grip, strong hands in order to be able to hold on to the bar so you can pull yourself up. Now that's probably the first thing that I would have someone do. Let's get you some pulling strength to actually get you the ability to pull yourself up. All right, here we got rings. TRXs work just as well. I'm sure people have seen TRX suspensions on every single gym. All right, but what we're gonna be doing is something called inverted rows, ring rows, TRX rows, and the ability to just start closer to the ground, the harder it'll be. Arms locked out, pull yourself up, hold and squeeze, and then control back down. So this is what you're going to try to do to build up towards a pull-up. All right, you want to be able to get really strong with these. Inverted row is the exact same thing, but with a barbell. All right, so you can do this palms down, pronated, or palms up, supinated, but we're pulling ourselves up. That's all we're doing. That's essentially what we're going to be doing on the bar up top. So you want to make sure you get the basics down first, TRX rows, ring rows, barbell rows, being able to pull your body weight up and getting really strong in that. Something that I also like to start off with is eccentric only. So that's pulling yourself up and then going as slow as you can on the way down. You will be stronger eccentrically as you would being able to pull yourself up. So getting good grip strength and having that maintained the entire time definitely will help with your pull-up gains. So you're gonna be a lot stronger on the way down, all right? On the way down, that's eccentric, all right, like I said before. So what you can start off doing, chin-ups. You'll also find yourself stronger with chin-ups as well. That's palms facing you. What you can do is you can jump up and then just go slow on the way down. You don't have to worry about pulling yourself up. What I like to use is a bench as well. We get the bench here. You stand up, and then you have the bar right here in a chin-up position, so my hands are facing me. I jump up, I hold, and then I go real slow on the way down. Your goal is to be able to do 5 reps, 5 seconds on the way down for a couple sets, 2 to 3 sets. And you do that twice a week. You build up over time, and then you slowly will get your first pull-up. All right, what you can also do is that you see people use bands for how to do band-assisted chin-ups. Don't wrap the band up on the thing and pull it down. I've seen it happen in worse ways every single time. All right, so what I'm going to show you is a better way and how you can actually progress this as well. So band-assisted pull-ups coming up. All right, band-assisted pull-ups. What you're going to do is the band is going right around the rack. Simple as that. All right? Notice how it's not up top and I'm not trying to swing my foot in. It is already at the height that I want it at. The higher I put the rack, the easier the pull-up will be. Also, the thicker band I use, all right, and the lower I go with the rack, the harder it will be. You have to play around with this, and you need to do something called progressive overload. That's every week you're trying to make it slightly harder. Don't just think you can just do the same thing for a year and then get amazing results. All right, if you are slowly building up over time and you go from using the TRX rows and then getting to band assisted ones and then you change the band after 2 months, you got stronger. All right, you're progressively overloading your muscles in order to get stronger. That's what you need to do. So real quick with this setup after that little rant, always grab the bar strong, step in with one foot, and then get into a full dead hang with the band. From here, you do a pull-up. Pull yourself up, and you come back down. Pull yourself up, and you come back down. All right, and then slowly, carefully, come off. And then there you go. That's how I would do band-assisted chin-ups. All right, I think that is the best way to do it because you can also track what rack height you had it set at, what band you're using, and how many reps you're able to get at each one. There's going to be phases where you're going to want to do more reps, so you might need a heavier band. That's called an accumulation phase. So you want to do more reps. You get practice with the movement, so you do 8 to 10. You're going to need a pretty big band for a lot of people, all right, just starting off. And then you have a month of intensification, is where you try to make it harder. So you do less reps, less band resistance, but that's what's building the strength, and it's making you try to fight to get a couple extra reps. You alternate between the two, or maybe you have one day higher band tension, more reps, and then one day lower band tension, less reps. So you're getting the combination of both. You're getting high volume and you're getting low volume, but you're also getting max strength and more hypertrophy work. All right, pull-ups take time. They're pretty hard. This is coming from someone that wasn't really great at the monkey bars and really struggled with anything body weight. So I wasn't the greatest at body weight activities. Something that is kind of a hard truth that a lot of people have to swallow, and this is coming from someone that was overweight at a time myself. The less you weigh, the less body fat you have on your frame, the easier body weight activities are. I know it's mind-blowing stuff, but if you weigh, think about it as like a bench press. If you were benching 225 and you went to go bench 185, the 185 will feel a lot lighter and easier. All right? If you weigh 225 and you try to do pull-ups, and then you go down to 185 and you try to go do pull-ups, it's going to feel a lot easier because fat doesn't fly in sports performance, and it also doesn't like to get pulled up on a bar. All right? So with all those being said, let's go over a little bit of review. All right? Always start off step 1 with a dead hang. All right, you want to build up the calluses on your hands. You want to build up grip strength, forearm strength, a little bit of shoulder stability up top, making sure you have the adequate range of motion to actually have your arms over your head. All right? After you get a dead hang and strong grip, strong forearms, you work with our inverted rows where we pull ourselves up, hold for a second, control back down, or you try to just go as slow as you can on the way down, building up that eccentric strength. All right? Try to do as many reps as you can with those. Your goal is to just try to get really strong body weight activities over time. All right, and then band assisted work, with the pull-ups in itself, of where you can track where the band's at, what type of band you're using, and then where you're going. Their machines at commercial gyms have pull-up assisted machines, so you can check how much weight you're doing. So if you are doing 3 sets of 8 with like an additional 100 pounds extra to help, and then you do next week 3 sets of 8 at only 80 pounds, and then 3 sets of 8 at 60 pounds, or whatever, and you slowly go down, and you're using less weight to help pull yourself up. It's the exact same thing as what I just did with the band. All right, but a lot of people I know don't have access to that machine, so I use bands. All right, it's also good in group settings because we can have 8 things going on, and 8 people can be doing pull-ups. All right, that is a step-by-step guide on how I would get from no pull-ups to 1 pull-up. And then over time, you just keep building upon it, stack it day by day, and just think in 3 months' time that you'll be able to do a set of 5. All right, if you're able to do those step by step for a while, twice a week, every week, and the consistency stays up, and you maybe lose a little bit of weight, and you get a little leaner, your chin-ups and pull-ups will feel a lot better. All right, that's all I have for today. I hope this helped. If it did, please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below what else you would like to see. I am grateful enough to have a facility like this that I can film content out of. So I will try my best to film as much as I possibly can on things that I think you guys might like to hear about. But I'm always open to suggestions and would love to hear what you guys have to say. If you're looking for training, I also have a training team down below that you can access called Team Hitman through Train Heroic. All you have to do is click the link, 7 days on me, so you get your first week free, and then it's $25 a month after that. All right, 5 days a week training. You'll see it all once you click the link. Please click the link. That'll be really cool. But until next time, Hitman out.